good morning, and welcome to this segment of Good Morning Grenada. It's Friday. Some folks say, thank God it's Friday. Well, I don't know about you, but I thank God for every day. When I wake up in the morning, even with the pains, even with the heartaches, even with the heartbreaks, even with the mess that's around, I still thank God. Yeah, God is good. So it's a pleasure to be with you once again. I hope you are doing fine. I hope you are doing okay. And if you are not doing okay, you're still not doing too bad, all right? Yeah, you've got life, so there is the possibility that things can turn around. And eventually they do turn around. You just got to give it some time. Give the time some time. You know what I'm saying? Nice. I want to say good morning to my good friend, Mr. Nixon Fletcher out there in Birch Grove. Good morning to the entire Fletcher family. Bishop George Fletcher and the entire Sister Celia Fletcher. How you doing? You all right? Good. You'll see me soon, right? You'll see me. I know Nicole is going to beat up on me, but you'll see me, all right? Good. All right, let's do this. We'll start off, of course, with the word of the day, as is customary. And today, the word of the day is the word vandalize. Vandalize, that's a verb. All right, it's an action word. And what vandalize means is to deliberately damage or destroy public or private property. Vandalize, to deliberately damage or destroy public or private property. It can be used in this way. The impulse of many graffiti artists is not to vandalize infrastructure, but to beautify city environments that are often monotone and nondescript. Yeah, kind of a lot of words there, but all right, so let's do this again. Vandalize, it is spelled V-A-N-D-A-L-I-Z-E. And it's a noun, it's a verb, and it means to deliberately damage or destroy public or private property. It can be used this way. The impulse of many graffiti artists is to vandalize to vandalize infrastructure, but to beautify city environments that are often monotone and nondescript. That's the word for the day. Jot it down as we try to increase your word power. Yeah. Good. Nice. Now let's look at the thought for the day. The thought for today is the way of peace is the way of truth. Truthfulness is even more important than peacefulness. Sometimes the truth hurts, it offends, but it's not a sin. An uncle of mine usually says that. Good morning, Augustine. We call him Bomb. Yeah, the way of peace is the way of truth. Truthfulness is even more important than peacefulness. You can speak the truth and, it creates chaos. It makes a chaotic situation. But guess what? It is the truth. There is another adage that says the truth shall set you free, yeah? Speak the truth. Even if it's hard, even if it's gonna hurt. Say it as it is. Free your conscience. Yeah. 23 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock workers, you should be close to the job already if you're not there as yet. It is said lateness is disrespectful. Yeah. It's disrespectful to be late. Yeah, try and be early. All right, so what's buzzing? What will we be talking about this morning? Well, of course, it's going to zero in on the budget debate. All right, we had the opposition response yesterday. We had a presentation from the opposition leader. As a matter of fact, I think that is where we would concentrate this morning. Your thoughts on the opposition leader's response to the budget presentation that was made by the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, Minister for Finance, and the Prime Minister. That was done on Monday. So the rebuttals and the debate started yesterday, and boy, it was So we'll be zeroing on that this morning. There are a number of, subtopics, It says the opposition leader, Dr. Keith Mitchell, tells Parliament that the rural electrification was a signature accomplishment of his new National Party government. He said a lot yesterday, man. He spoke, I did not get the chance to listen it through its entirety, but yeah, it created a buzz. All right, opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell makes a plea on behalf of persons employed by the faith organization. He said the government should pay the workers and deal with the organization if there were any problems. Have mercy on the workers, he said, as he presented his rebuttal. Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. Should government pay the faith workers? I don't know. I guess you have to call Scholar and ask Scholar that. All right. The opposition leader makes up. Right. Okay. We'll look at that already. Right. As far back as 10 years ago, a ranking member of the Senate made a paperless plea. Yeah, I think that's a good way to go. The less paper we use, the better for us, isn't it? Yeah. Nice. Also improving relations between Cuba and CARICOM countries, looking at areas of improvement between Cuba and the CARICOM countries. As a matter of fact, as you will hear in the news this morning, a delegation of Cuban engineers will be in Grenada next week to assist in infrastructural development. So we look at that, after 43 years of a good relationship, it continues, it gets only stronger. Yeah? Nice. Senator Norman Cox says, the words of the opposition senator, he says, somebody has to do the work. Yeah. I don't know, man. Grenada is just, a great place. Grenadians are agreeing with government's decision to get derelict vehicles off the streets. Yeah, it's an eyesore. So these are the topics that we will be looking at this morning. Get your thoughts together. Come to me with good ideas, and let's see how we can roll and rumble with this. So remember, the word for the day is the word vandalize. All right, and it means to deliberately damage or destroy public or private property. And it can be used this way. The impulse of many graffiti artists is not to vandalize infrastructure, but to beautify city environments that are often monotone and nondescript. Yeah. Good. The thought of the day, the way to peace is the way of truth. Now take into consideration that truthfulness is even more important than peacefulness. So we're going to break it off here. We take a commercial break and then we come back with the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather. And that will be followed by our conversation this morning. Those of you here with me on Classic, Stick and Stay, you're on GBN TV. You've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. See you on the flip side of 7.
Did you hear that? The National Lotteries Authority's Lotto Jackpot is $218,000. Play Lotto today for chances at winning big. Lotto. Play and win a lot of money.
Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Make your wish the perfect gift this Christmas as the GUT Credit Union brings you Loan Pop-Up at the Carriacou branch this Saturday, 10th December for one Saturday only. Take advantage of this opportunity to get the money you need to make that holiday wish come true with a GUT Credit Union Christmas Make-A-Wish loan. Visit GUT Credit Union Carriacou branch this Saturday and make your wish the perfect gift this Christmas. Grenada, your loan Saturday continues at Grenville and Grandance branches as per usual. GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
I'm Ken Robatista, Television Center at the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell took the floor of Parliament on Thursday morning, delivering a lengthy response to the 2023 budget, which he summed up as rhetoric and having no substance. Cherry and Blackman Stephen reports.
Opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell says the early warning signals are sounded for all to hear after Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell's 2023 budget presentation. Delivering his response Thursday morning, he told the nation that it was a budget full of rhetoric but empty of substance.
Mr. Speaker, apart from a new record of lengthiness, in the end, the budget statement of 2023 will be remembered for a few distinguishing features. The first is that it uses the wrong point of reference, budgeted where actual outturn should be used. It unfortunately makes erroneous and baseless comparisons. The budget statement begins this way, and the baseless comparisons are made throughout. Mr. Speaker, if this were a literature paper, I would give it a passing grade. But this is a budget statement meant to outline and announce serious policies on revenue and expenditure of the people's resources. It falls far short of a passing grade.
Dr. Mitchell said the budget as presented is laced with inconsistencies.
The second is that in substantial parts, the budget statement tells a different story to the numbers and figures presented in the estimates of revenue and expenditure prepared by the profession team at the Ministry of Finance. In other words, I cannot blame them. For example, to advance as the Minister of Finance does, that the implementation rate for a particular project was 10%, and to boldly use 2020 as reference point is nothing more than boating.
The opposition leader said the people must be concerned about the ability of the Deacon Mitchell-led administration to continue on the path of sound economic management. He said his administration left a treasury full of money, and the challenge now will be for the NDC administration to sustain the excellent record of management left by the new National Party-led government.
In the end, Mr. Speaker, precisely what does the Minister of Finance intended to reap from these fallacies? At the end, the people of Grenada will be left to choose between the numbers presented in the estimates of revenue and expenditure, or on the illusions which the Minister of Finance attempts to create.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Somebody has to do the work. The words of Opposition Senator Nolan Cox as he shared insights into both presentations.
Opposition Senator Nolan Cox commended Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, for some of the measures put forward regarding inflation and continuation of projects in his budget presentation. He said, however, there are some concerns.
In terms of the impact based on the whole economic outlook, which the opposition leader did raise, we do have some concerns, and those concerns are grounded and genuine, and from all reports, there are going to be some challenging times ahead. And while we understand that sometimes as a party, you do have certain engagements in the private sector, and sometimes you're moved to make certain policy decisions that can have impact on governance overall. And so I think that's what some of the concerns that we believe that will be challenging for the country going forward for 2023.
Senator Cox says their role as an opposition is not to condemn, but rather identify witnesses so that government can make changes where necessary.
if you recall, when I first spoke on the issue of the measures that were applied to Grenada, what we removed those taxes, the EVL, and they were restored. I did suggested that maybe that the government should have not just go back with the whole 25 or go back to the whole 15% VAT, but could have looked at a reduced rate, and we see some of that. So it's within that context that the leader of the opposition would have made those interventions, and it's in the same light that we, from the opposition side, we are looking at it. That is a good thing for the government if they listen, because we do have experienced eyes in that business, and not just as, in my case, not just as a member of the cabinet, a former member of the cabinet, but also as a public servant. For more than 17 years I've been a public servant, so having the opportunity to be on both sides of the coin gives me a clear indication as to what are some of the issues, what are some of the challenges.
He said there are some challenges, adding that someone must remain steadfast to do the work.
And how best to deal with it. It's something that I always say and continue to say, that it doesn't matter what we say, the work has to be done. And people expect results, they have expectations, and we have to work. We have to do the work. Somebody have to do the work. So talking, I don't worry too much about talking. I'm a result-oriented person, and the results will be there for themselves. So we have to see how it goes. There are some challenges, but we have to stay the course. We are going to do our best to raise those concerns, raise those awareness, to ensure that Grenada remains on course.
Christina John, GBN News.
Opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell took the stand Thursday in rebuttal to the 2023 budget as presented by Prime Minister and Finance Minister Deacon Mitchell. His presentation lasted for approximately 3 hours, following which members of the audience exited the Parliament building. GBN sought to garner feedback from people on the budget presentation and the rebuttal.
I don't like is when on the government side, when Dr. Mitchell was talking, ministers on that side was talking and giving back remarks, and like they wasn't waiting to to talk afterwards. They just keep rebutting and seeing what everybody have to say, and that was not good.
And he needs to control his ministers. They are moved from sneakers into shoes, dressing shoes. Act like the man have his hours to speak. The Prime Minister had his hours to speak. The opposition leader have his hours. Let him speak. What are you interrupting him? That was not nice. That was not nice. That's not happy. I'm not happy with it.
Other news, looking at areas of improvement between Cuba and CARICOM countries. Here's the report.
Bridging the language barrier gap, trade and food security are among areas earmarked for improvement among nations with which Cuba is aligned. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell outlined to members of the media other areas raised at the recently concluded Cuba-CARICOM summit held in Barbados.
As you are aware, intra-regional travel, both amongst the OECS and amongst the wider CARICOM countries, and by extension our Caribbean neighbors who speak Spanish, including Cuba, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti, which speaks French, Guadeloupe and Martinique, we do have significant challenges when it comes to intra-regional or south-south travel. The other area is that of food security. Guyana in particular has been championing the need for CARICOM and by extension Cuba to become more self-reliant, and so we identified areas where we may have a competitive advantage, for example in honey production, not just within CARICOM but within Cuba as well, and the need for us to collaborate and work better in addressing that area. Another obvious area is the issue of the language barrier. Perhaps it's the arrogance of speaking English, but there's a clear need for us in English-speaking Caribbean to ensure that more of our citizens are bilingual and that they particularly learn Spanish. So we certainly explored the need for student exchanges when it comes to assisting both the Cubans with learning English and the CARICOM English-speaking countries with learning to speak Spanish.
The PM indicated that there is a new drug that just might aid in the reduction of amputation.
Cuba's biotech and medical tech industry is an area that has also been identified as one that can help us a lot as well, particularly when it comes to the issue of non-communicable diseases. The number one, perhaps most readily identifiable one being diabetes, and the significant rates of amputation that basically stretches from Jamaica in the north to Guyana in the south. The Cuban biotech industries have developed a drug that significantly reduces the chance of amputations. And so we've talked about how we can collaborate to ensure that the drug becomes available within the region. The Cuban government has pledged 200 doses of the drug in the first instance, as well as training to medical practitioners within CARICOM to be able to assist with that development. So
the Prime Minister reminds us that it's 50 years since the CARICOM-Cuba relations were established, but he believes since then the countries are better positioned and as such have reiterated their commitments to maintaining their fraternal friendship with the government and people of Cuba.
50-year American blockade against Cuba continues to have a devastating impact on the lives of ordinary Cubans, and that is something that CARICOM feels that we can still play a significant role in getting the Americans to see the errors of that policy and why it's counterproductive, and for CARICOM to take a lead role in advocating and continuing to advocate for the lifting of the blockade and for the removal of Cuba from the terrorists, from the list of countries that sponsor terrorism.
Cuban President His Excellency Miguel Diaz-Canel departs Grenada today following a two-day visit to the island. While here, His Excellency met and held discussions of mutual interest with Prime Minister the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, paid a visit to the Cuban Monument at the Maurice Bishop International Airport, and
Christina John reporting there. Now, Karakou Parang Festival 2022 will be held from December 16 to 18 under the theme Embracing Our Culture Through String and Carols. We hear more about the festival and its preparations in this Rena Ped Thomas report.
5 bands are so far registered to be part of the 2022 Parang Festival on December 16th to the 18th, after 2 years due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The festival this year is said to be filled with entertainment that many should look forward to. Chairperson of the Karakou Parang Committee, Angus Modest, disclosed some of the planned events for this year's festival.
On Saturday the 17th of December, we have for artists together with local artist show. In that show, we will see the likes of Lyrical from Trinidad and Tobago, Isa from Trinidad and Tobago, Golden, another local act. Also, the unit band from Grenada will participate. The name of that show is called Reggae Mix Soca. On Sunday, the 18th of December, we will have the NLA String Band Melee Competition. NLA is the sponsor of that Sunday night event. We would have a total of 5 bands taking part in that competition.
Despite all the preparation, Modest says that they have experienced several challenges, such as a lack of sponsorship from the private sector.
Well, over the last couple of years, the competition, the whole festival has been scaled down to an extent. This is the first time we've gone back to the 3-day event for about 5 years. So preparation, we've had a lot of challenges. First of all, in sponsorship, that has been kind of slow with the dent in the economy, businesses are kind of reluctant to sponsor. Also, as it relates to participation of bands, that has been a bit of a hiccup for us. Originally, we started with 10 band registered for Hosanna, and now we're down to 5. I mean, it's a bit disappointing, but still it's a work in progress, hopefully by the night week.
The chairman is encouraging everyone to come out and enjoy the festival. He spoke of the monetary prizes that will be presented to the top 3 winners of the competition.
Okay, for the Hosanna competition, first place $4,000, second $3,000, third $2,000, consolation $1,000, $1,000 for best set speech, $1,000 for best choice speech, $1,000 for best dress. On Sunday for the main competition, $8,000, first place $6,000, second $4,000 for third, $1,000 consolation, $1,000 for best at least $1,000 to spend maybe.
The government has increased its subvention from $25,000 to $75,000 to support the festival, as they intend to continue the preservation of the cultural heritage. The increase in funds will go towards the growth and development of the festival for years to come. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
Rebecca Television Center, the opposition New National Party created quite a stir on Monday as the party complained about the failure of the administrative officers of Parliament in providing a printed copy of the budget speech. The opposition leader told the Speaker of the House that he expected to receive a hard copy of the budget speech. On Monday evening, the party sent its representative, Winston Garway, on GBN's Beyond the Headlines to say that he was unable to participate because no printed copy of the budget speech was provided. Pundits have been analyzing this subject, and GBN has been reviewing the archives on the subject of technological advancement. Well, we unearthed a report of September 29, 2016, in which former Prime Minister and now opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell highlighted the need for technological advancement. Let's review this report by Renee Toussaint.
At the conference room in Washington, Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell called for a more unified and integrated approach to science and technology in the region with the participation of Cuba. Dr. Mitchell says this new innovation will aid in creating new initiatives for the country's advancement.
We established a group of scientists under Professor Ramkinson who are now looking at a regional approach to technological advancement in the region. And they came together in Grenada and formulated a policy, an initiative that was brought before the heads of government for endorsement, where we will work towards ensuring we could invest more or institute more technological advances initiatives, in the areas of government service and the whole question of managing of our country's resources in general.
He noted that science and technology innovation will strengthen CARICOM countries and is key to a brighter future. Renee Toussaint for GBN News.
As far back as 10 years ago, a ranking member of the Senate made a paperless plea. This evening, we share a report from the then Community Channel 6, in which the former private sector representative in the Senate, Christopher Diali, highlighted a way of cutting costs by going paperless.
Representative for the private sector in the upper house of Parliament, Senator Chris Diali, says he's amazed that very simple solutions for saving government hundreds of thousands of dollars are being overlooked, even as the new administration focuses on waste reduction. Addressing the recent sitting of the Senate when the 2013 budget was debated, Senator Diali says Parliament, as the highest body in the land, should be leading by example when it comes to waste reduction.
I am tired, Mr. President, of coming and have to deal with all these big paper documents. I think the time has come where we could cut this out, issue tablets to the members of the House, both upper and lower, and have everything done electronically. We could set up a domain with your password. You go and you download your documents. We come here and we discuss things paperless.
A tablet can be purchased for around $120, the senator says, and purchasing one each for the members of the House would result in savings that could easily be recovered.
I heard the People's Republic of China just gave us some equipment, and I am making a case for the Clerk of Parliament and his staff. I think we still operate with cassettes when we have to record and do things with the Hansard. I mean, that is, Mr. President, I don't know how outdated we could be. A little magnet passed by those cassettes and we're in trouble. You know, the days have come where we could digitize. I am certain the equipment doesn't cost us more than $100,000. I am certain it is less than that. Why can't we get our parliament as a start, the highest body in this land, to lead by example by going paperless?
Much paper is also wasted, he says, in weekly distribution of the government gazette.
The cost to print this, the cost to distribute this, and the cost associated must be more, and we could recover that in less than a year. I am astounded why we can't get there. And I'm hoping that our new government, with the kind of majority that they have, could make these decisions and move us in that direction. Let us take, for example, the Gazette, something that all of us have to get. All of us send copies of this Gazette in hard copy. Why can't we digitize that? When we have to send those things out with the acts and the laws that we pass and the loan agreements, the cost of printing and paper and collating and distribution has to be phenomenal.
He says he welcomes the initiative by the Inland Revenue Department to digitize certain services, and he's hoping that this will be swiftly implemented. Sherry Ann Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
All right, so further research shows that on January 27, 2021, members of the Senate approved an amendment to standing orders, making it mandatory for documents for any proceedings from the clerk's office to be sent electronically. In 2019, members of the House of Representatives approved a similar resolution as part of measures under its efficiency strategy to transform the Houses of Parliament into a paperless legislative body. Then President of the Senate, Chester Humphrey, said the amendments were meant to reduce the paper used, thereby reducing the cost involved in producing tons of documents. He also noted the conservation of energy that goes into producing documents while informing members about the amendment. Humphrey added, quote, "As you know, paper comes from trees, and we know the consequential effects. It's a measure meant to conserve nature and in keeping with the rest of the world today."
Delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Do you know that you can lower your electricity bill by switching to energy-efficient appliances? By switching to energy-efficient appliances, you can help lower your energy usage. Your refrigerator, for example, is amongst the highest energy-consuming appliances within your home as it remains running throughout the day and night. Switching to an energy-efficient refrigerator can lower your electricity bill by up to 40%. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by switching to energy-efficient appliances. What can you do?
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always at Grenlec.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy. To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal. When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
Good morning and welcome back. It's 10 minutes after 7 o'clock. This segment, as you know, it's where we get interactive, where you try to hear what's going through your mind as it relates to certain current issues. And as you know, what's buzzing in the air at the moment is the budget and the debate that comes after it. The debate started yesterday. Before we move into this, there's something that a senior citizen asked me to talk about this morning. And it's something that should not have been happening. Loud music in vehicles. A senior citizen called and said, the vehicles, and one of the things she said is that the smaller vehicles make the most noise, has the most music in it, loud music that interferes with your stomach. And my call here is, there is the Noise Pollution Act. And maybe officers, you need to enforce that, because we know the youngsters nowadays, and there's nothing wrong with making your vehicle nice and so forth, beautiful and attractive and things like that. But you have to take into consideration that there are other people that are being affected by the things that you do, and the loud noise is one of them, and hence the reason why the Noise Pollution Act was passed. Okay, so officers, I think the laws are there, you need to enforce them. Okay, alright, there's nothing wrong with playing your music, but do it with moderation. Everything must be done with moderation and consideration for others. Okay, take that into consideration. I want to say good morning also to a gentleman in Golf Course, Mr. Dean Brown, the blind man. It has been brought to my attention that despite his visual impairment, he gets up every day and puts out his table by the pasture to conduct business, and this has to be commended. So Mr. Brown, good morning to you. All right, good morning. So now let's get into the conversation. The budget debate that started yesterday, all right? The opposition leader, he was given the same length of time as the Prime Minister in delivering or presenting the debate. And what are your thoughts? That's all I want to hear. Tell me what you thought. Let's go to the phone line right away. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to the program.
Well, I have 2 points. To make concerning the budget. Yesterday, I find the opposition was frank with himself.
He was what?
He was frank. In other words, he thinks that I believe should never happen. Especially talk about the salary raise. You just take work. How could you have a raise of salary? I was born in his shoes. You understand? And this should never happen. Second of all, you talk about the law music. The law wouldn't want to put them out in that. Why? Some of the officers themselves have loud music in the vehicle, and I ain't talking about the hearsay, DMC.
That's a very, very valid point.
I'm saying something that I know. They tell you not to put on bright light. The officers had the most brightest light in the private vehicle. Another law, I thought that I invented that law. And that law was, I think, in Gary days and Bishop days, where officers should not own a bus. Officers owning buses. It's a danger towards busmen. They doesn't charge the buses. And you see them taking the same police car and come and collect their money and the bus terminal. You understand? Second of all.
And you're speaking from a point of knowledge, right?
That's right. I ain't talking about, I ain't going behind what somebody tell me.
Okay.
I in the mix. I'm the man on the ground. You understand?
Okay.
Second of all, again, I suppose to cut the 2 points, but I'll get next one. This thing happened with the lady there, with that lady that get robbed, and she called the police. Let me tell you something, This happened to me already. The officers and them, some of them don't have no respect at all, especially when they had a stress home. You don't bring it on people. Your job place is not there for that. You keep your problem home. Or you get a counselor.
Okay.
You understand? Second of all, you cannot take any police transport. They should put a law in place where the police transport remain inside and let people drop you home.
Okay.
They take the police transport to drop gas, to drop this, to drop, you see them.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller.
Okay.
Have a good one. All right. Leave your stress at home. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning. Hi, good morning.
Listen, Mr. Joseph, good morning.
Welcome.
I want to briefly comment on the Noise Pollution Act. Listen, it is impossible, note my word, for that law to be properly implemented. Because if you look at it well, you see, it speaks of, quote-unquote, reasonable levels of noise. How can you measure reasonable, sir? What is reasonable for A just cannot be, or just may not, should we say, be reasonable for B, or maybe just satisfactory for B. That sort of law cannot be implemented. We have spoken about this on various occasions before. That law has to be modified. There is no way of measuring reasonable. And this is the problem. And the comment made by that goodly gentleman prior there is true. The people who are expected to look at these things are deeply involved in them. We're in a bad way, Mr. Joseph, sir. Have a nice day, will you?
You too, caller. Have a great day yourself. Officers, well, you're hearing it. Commissioner Edwin Martin, you need to look at your guys. All right, good morning.
Yeah, morning, Innocent.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, the thing about it, remember yesterday I'm not too sure if it's on, yes, yeah, on your program, I did mention in terms of the derelict vehicles that if we don't do it in a certain way to clean up, we could have the same problem as the noise pollution situation. So I don't want to dwell on that. I want to dwell on what happened yesterday. One of the things I heard you said in introducing the program this morning is that the leader of the opposition was given same time as the Prime Minister. Do you know the history of that?
It's vaguely in my memory, yes.
Yeah, it was because that same gentleman, when he was not even leader of the opposition, when Mrs. Winifred Strawn was the leader of the opposition, took over 2 days talking in the first budget that the then NDC government that came into power in 1990 did. But did you know also that the shortage debate in Parliament, and I want to investigate that, was sometime after 95, once the gentleman became Prime Minister. that because he didn't want Dr. Alexis and others to really tear apart the budget, asked the Speaker at the time, just after about 3 people spoke, to close the debate. I want you to examine. And did you know that this gentleman is the only opposition leader that was almost literally pushed? Well, I don't want to use the word, but he was escorted out of the parliament because he refused, under the Speaker's direction, to withdraw a statement that he made that he couldn't prove. There's a lot of things that this man says, and if you don't remember, you talk about history, and that is why I'm dealing with history now. I mean, there's so many nasty things that have happened to this man, including the dissolution of the Grenada today. Notwithstanding, not forgetting the unceremonial deportation of Steve Ashihi, a citizen of Grenada. I mean, stripping him of his citizen and deporting him. Now, I hope sometime next week, if you have a program like that, I could show how inconsistent this man is, although consistent in his dishonesty. I mean, I'm forced to listen to this gentleman yesterday because normally I've decided a long time ago not to listen to him. I wanted to listen to him in relation to the fact that the young gentleman, the new Prime Minister, the first time, and he did his thing to see what kind of response he would have. And it almost makes you sick listening to this man. I mean, it's sad.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Colin, thank you. Mm-hmm. The number to call, it's 435-2041. It's 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good morning.
Morning, Joseph. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Hanging in there.
Okay.
Talking about the loud music. There's our mass worship in church, right in the junction where the Coke factory in the cross street there in Tempe. When the vehicles reach, it's like they play the music more high, like if they don't want to know what's going on is there. But the church is a lady of the valley. We cannot hear our ears. The pastor have to stop preach because of the loud music they're playing in their vehicle. Tell them when they reach around there, please, there's a church of worship in there. And if they don't have God in them, we have God and we worship God.
Okay.
We hear the word of God. So let them drive,
Okay.
The music, the loud music they're playing when they reach there, slow it down.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, you too. Mm-hmm. All right. One of the comments the opposition leader made yesterday was he insisted that the government should be paying or should pay the faith workers. What are your thoughts? Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
Welcome to the program.
Yes, have a great day. Now, with respect to the budget, I noted very carefully the response to the budget by the leader of the opposition, and notedly the faith-based matter and the question of the investment money and some of the inconsistencies of the red budget. I noted that very carefully. However, I was very impressed with the delivery of the Ministry of Trade and Industry or the Minister of Planning in terms of what he outlined as the way forward for his ministry. If he could achieve this, or if the government can achieve this, I'll tell you something, we will be in a good place. And my good friend and we discussed all those matters long before we get into government, since the Ministry of Finance and when he was working with the bank. And those are the things I think we have to do if we are to move people from the poverty line upward and to shift the economy in a real way. As he says, it's a people-people system, and that is what we should do. And if we succeed in getting those things done, we will be in a very good place. I was very impressed with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph, and how are you?
I am fine. How are you?
I am fine.
Okay. Don't go. Well, then don't go outside. You'll get blown away with the wind.
I know. About the faith-based organization, Miss Emmeline Pierre have to pay them. They did not work. She said she had a job for them. She had the money, a lot of money. Let her pay them, and don't talk about government have to pay these people. Emmeline Pierre, pay those people. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, caller. Wow, to the point, boy. To the point comes up at 9. Well, I wonder if we're having it this morning because I think the budget debate continues. 435-2041. Lisa and her family out there in Apretwood. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning to you, Mr.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, and how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right for your time. Yes, I must say that all the speakers gave a very good account of themselves for the last and the budget there. The opposition leader was good, I think. He was good. But there are some questions that will be asked, or that the statement that was made by the Minister of Implementation and Mr. Ron Redhead, which I think the opposition leader may have to answer some questions or question them, because they made some statement there, and if they are true, they can have some very significant for the state of Grenada. For instance, the amount of money that they say that we almost lose because the past government didn't do anything about it. There's a cause for concern. So I think the opposition there will have to ask them some question concerning that, because there's a statement that they make. I mean, it's worrying.
Okay.
Worrying. The kind of money that they say that passed through or that was signed for Grenada, and we didn't make use of it. And if this government happened to get them, well, I don't know what. There are questions. There are some questions. But I thought everybody, so far speaking, gave a good account of themselves.
Okay, let me ask you a question now. Should the government be paying the faith workers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because if we see that cabinet took the decision. So if anybody in the face base did wrong, let them pay for the wrong. But if they have to pay the people that work, the government responsible for paying the people, because the cabinet take the decision. Which, when the cabinet take a decision, is a state decision. And I think it's right to pay the people that was employed, is right to pay them.
Okay.
But the persons, if there is any wrongdoing in the business, then Miss Emmeline Pierre and others may have to pay for that. But as it is, the workers, they work with the state through Miss Emmeline Pierre and them.
Okay.
So by right, the state have a right to pay them.
Okay, thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Okay. So 435-2041, 26 minutes after 7. Good morning.
Yeah, Innocent, on the question of the possibility of Grenada losing money, missing off money, this is very serious. I know of a number of situations where this has happened. And because we are, like the Minister of Trade, Mr. Leonard Andrews, highlighted yesterday, where, for instance, in agriculture, there's no chief technical officer, no chief forest. I mean, so many folks are important who have not been there. Even in the Ministry of Construction or Physical Planning, there's some key people that should be there to ensure certain things that happen, and they were not there. So government been not functioning for the longest while. Because of who I am, I've been fortunate to have information, like, for instance, which is probably even new to some of the new politicians. People interview me based on my role in civil society. People like, for instance, those who do feasibility studies for projects in Grenada and so on. And I remember this woman from St. Lucia telling me that the government, if they don't do the project, the Millennium Project, by 2024, they will lose the money. And that's one of the reasons why they had so many interviews. I was interviewed many times. One time interviewed by a home in Trinidad, next time in St. Lucia. And, well, what the politicians are saying in Parliament is true. Okay. We are losing money all the time.
All right. Okay, thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Minutes after 7, we take a commercial break and then we have our guest for this morning. Stay tuned, stay locked to Classic K105.
WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
Solar lights are back in stock and will be available for purchase at Southern Electrical. Here is a list of the solar lights that we offer. 200 to 300 watt intelligent floodlights with camera, 300 to 500 watt solar street lights, 60, 100, 200 and 500 RGB solar floodlights, 100, 200, 300, 500 and 800 solar floodlights, solar garden lights, 25, 40, 60, 100 and 200 watt solar floodlights, 3, 7 and 10 watt solar wall lights, motion center garden lights, motion sensor floodlights, 30, 60 and 90 watt solar street lights with accessories, 5 watt solar wall lamps, 40 and 60 solar street lights, and 100 and 300 solar floodlights with battery power display. Now available at Southern Electrical, Dusty Highway, St. George. Visit our showroom today.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
My granddaughter.
Let's mingle and jingle.
You mean
jingle and mingle, right?
Does it really matter? Mingle and Jingle, the mid-morning program that will drive the Christmas season. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon on Classic Radio, GBN Television, and all GBN social media platforms.
It's where the deals of the season are, where the Christmas music is played, holiday traditions are relived, and where all the fun is.
Mingle and Jingle.
Or Jingle and Mingle. Mid-mornings from November 14th to December 23rd only on the GBN network.
Made possible by
Flow,
West Hall Rums,
Hard On Plus,
Judy Free Caribbean Holdings,
Ace Hardware,
Gittins Healthcare, and
Grenville Credit Union.
Mentioned the wing high, then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power there.
When you push your push up, it is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and YouTube channel for We Culture.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, and as you realize, I've got guests with me in the studio this morning. I've got with me two wonderful ladies. To my extreme right is an old school mate of mine, Stephanie Andrew Bowler, and she's accompanied by Miss Wendy Adlam. They're here to promote a health fair that's being put on, they will tell you when and where, but it's being put on by Spice Isle Imaging Center. And it's a good time to say good morning to you ladies.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent.
I hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Lovely. Yes, you're sounding better now. Let me make sure this mic is right. Good. Okay, so we are here this morning. As I said, we are promoting a health fair. When is that health fair?
The health fair is on the 14th of December.
14th of December. That's sometime next week, right?
Next Wednesday.
And where is it?
At the car park, Grenville Terminal.
Oh, so it's happening in Grenville?
Grenville. It's happening in Grenville.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. Well, that's a good. Grenville people, you have a health fair coming up next week. On the 14th of December, it's been put on by Spice Isle Imaging Center. And every time I talk about Spice Isle, I get sad because I remember the originator of it. All right, we called him Biscuit.
Yes, you're sure right.
Yes. That was one of the saddest funerals I attended. You know. All right, so tell us a little bit about Spice Isle Imaging.
So, Spice Isle Imaging Center opened its doors to the public in 2004, and well, I just learned that Mr. Dominic Paul was referred to as Biscuit.
Biscuit, yes.
Right. Right. And it was a dream of his to open such a facility when he visited a friend at a hospital and learned that he was waiting to be flown out of Grenada to get a CT scan done. And he came back with Spice Isle Imaging Center, right? Opened it to the general public. As you alluded to a while ago, unfortunately, he died.
Yeah.
But his younger brother, the Catholic
Father
trees.
Paul, man.
Father Paul, yes.
Father Paul. Yes,
Yes.
say Father Paul, man. Father Paul, good morning. Yes, pray for me.
Right, so Father Paul, he is now the managing director of the facility, and he's ably assisted by a board of directors, competent health team at Spice Isle Imaging, and not to forget the clerical staff who is there. Currently, the Spice Isle Imaging is operating from 2 locations, on the Carnage and Ben Jones Street in Grenville.
Oh, so you actually moved up to Grenville. That's good. That's something I always ask him when he was here. All right, so Miss Bowler, Andrew, you're part of the organizing committee for that health fair that is coming up. Give us a little rundown as to it. What caused the health fair to come up, and what direction does it take?
But what caused the health fair to come on is that Spice Isle is giving back to the public. Since that they were established and people have been supporting them, they decided to give back to the public and to sensitize them on the importance of taking their health seriously.
And you know that was the dream of Biscuit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the dream of Mr. Paul. I remembered, as a matter of fact, when he launched the facility, I chaired the function.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I chaired the function, and actually he taught me in Tivoli RC school too. So we had this long-standing relationship, and in talking with him, all he wanted to do was he was bothered by the health system in Grenada, and he just wanted to give back in the ambit of his expertise, and it was this, radiology and all this. So that was his mantra, to give back to Grenada. And one of the things I always remembered is that stands out to me up to today. He gave me a story that someone needed some scan. It was after 1 in the morning, and the government facility couldn't do it, and they called, and he got out of his bed, went to the general hospital, pick up the patient, came, do the scan, drop the patient back with the results, and that was who he was.
Well, that still can happen now. Although Spice Isle opens from 7 until 5 in the afternoon, we are also open, or will be able to facilitate emergency cases. So if there is an emergency, once the facility is called, you call one of the cell numbers, then your need can be addressed.
Good.
Yes.
All right. So, Ms. Bowler, tell me, what in the health fair, what will be done in that health fair?
We'll be doing a lot of stuff like blood pressure. They would be coming to get a free blood pressure check, blood sugar. We have what we call the step test, and we partner with Grenada Food and Nutrition Council in doing the BMI. We'll have breast examination. We'll have laboratory service, like the lab Spice Isle is giving back some tests. Also, we have like pap smears and many, many more. Even doctor service, HIV testing. You could come and get a nice massage for your foot, your feet, to feel good, Yeah, so we're doing a lot at the health fair.
And what time does it start?
It starts at 10 a.m. First of all, we'll have a little ceremony, an opening ceremony, welcoming the people to the health fair, and right after that, we start our service, service in terms of providing the service like the blood pressure and blood sugar and testing, pap smear, doctor service, and everything.
Wow, that's good. That's really good. I must say that Spice Isle Imaging has revolutionized the dynamics of the healthcare system in Grenada.
Of course, yes.
Because a lot of things that they are doing, usually people had to go overseas for.
Right. Yes.
And one of the things that I really commend the facility for, the management and the facility for, is the speed at which you get results.
Within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Results.
Definitely. You have a team of professionals there that is, of the world.
Yes. You get your service quickly.
Yes.
And they are very professional. And you don't have to wait this long time for your results. And so by like within 24 hours, you'll get your results if you come to the lab and so forth.
Okay. Now, in interacting with your visitors when they visit the facility, I don't like to call them patients. Patients is a sick word. Your visitors, all right?
Yes.
When your visitors visit, one of the things that is also very noticeable is the comfort.
Yes.
You know,
the ambience is really good.
It's something that you witness in North America, or what we call the so-called bigger countries, but it's there. The professionalism is there, and so forth. So what sort of response is Spicel Imaging getting now in terms of people visiting and coming for the checks and tests and so forth?
Right now, there are a lot of persons coming in. I must say that within the last week, the numbers went down a bit, and I am thinking it's all because of Christmas. Around this season, generally, your focus tend to switch to Christmas and all of that. But persons are still trickling in, right? Not in the volume as, let's say, earlier in November. Okay. But we are having a number of persons coming in, and as you rightly said, they are treated or getting their exams done and can collect results, and not just sometimes someone would come in and just the smile from the staff and the comfort of right, they leave there feeling a lot better than when they just came in.
Maybe also the fact that you're having less visits now is because your service is so good that the people are getting well. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe that's the reason. Folks, listen, we want to give away quickly. We want to give away 2 prizes this morning, and I'm going to ask 2 questions. You're going to call in 435-2041. You know the number. The first question is, when Spicel Imaging started its operation in 2004, where was it located? Where was its original location? Anybody can call me 435-2041 and give me the answer, and just like that, you'll get yourself a prize. 435-2041. Every Christmas is here, everybody's shopping, so we have some Spicel Imaging bags that we will give out as one of our first prizes, and we go to the phone line right away. We say, good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Tell me, when Spicel Imaging opened its doors in 2004, where was its first location?
PTS Perrance in St. David.
You sure about that?
Yes, very much so.
How are you so sure?
Because I used to walk close to the.
Wait, you have. Listen, I'm not giving you the prize. You have an unfair advantage. But guess what? You are correct. All right. And the ladies were stunned when they told me what the question would be, and I said yes, in the container. You remember it was in a container, yeah?
Of course it was.
Yeah, good. In your humble opinion, how do you like the way it has progressed, transformed from being in that container and now being in this multifaceted building?
Well, I have seen a lot of growth. It has become a very useful establishment for the Grenadian people. In fact, only last week I went in there and I had 3 different tests done.
Did you pass the test?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. You studied hard. Nice. Okay, well, tell you what, caller, stay on the line. Do not disengage. I will take your information off the air, okay?
Sure, thanks.
Good. This gentleman is lucky this morning, you know. Otherwise, I would have left inside the studio and go outside and call and answer. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to Mr. Peter Regis, and you are a winner, the first winner this morning. All right, I'm going to ask the second question right away, and this one should be an easy giveaway. All right, who is the managing director of Spicel Imaging currently? Who is the current managing director of Spicel Imaging? We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call. Good morning. Hi, good morning. All right. Again, I don't think I can overemphasize that. When you are calling into a live program, it doesn't matter which media outlet. Turn the volume of your device at home down. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And where are you calling us from?
Grandans.
How is Grandans this morning?
Bright and sunny.
Any green peas?
Not yet.
Okay. So you think you have the answer for me?
I think so.
Well, give it to me now.
Father Gerard Paul.
Could you say that again?
Father Gerard Paul.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What is your denomination?
Roman Catholic.
You see? Again, unfair advantage. Because he's talking about that on the pulpit. You see what I'm saying? Father Paul, good morning to you, sir. Well, lady, you are indeed correct, and stay on the line, and I'll take your information off the air, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, good, bye-bye. Welcome back, and we want to say a very special congratulations to Miss Marcia Phillip out there in Grandans. She also won the second prize this morning. Well, the second giveaway. It's not first prize and second prize. The second giveaway. Okay, so back to our goodly ladies. The health fair has a theme.
Yes.
What's the theme for this health fair?
The theme is falling in love with your health in 2023.
Falling in love with your health in 2023. I would have added something 2023 and beyond.
And beyond.
Yeah. What we find? Oh, that's all.
We're taking it one step at a time.
Good, lovely.
Small steps.
And what was the cause for choosing that theme? How did that theme come about?
Falling in love is a very good thing.
What?
Falling in love is a very good thing.
No.
But so
don't you dare come on my program and do this. To fall is not good. I don't fall in love. I stand in love.
Okay.
All right, good.
Okay.
Let's
go. So we chose the theme because we think that person should fall in love with themselves, their health, taking care of themselves, educating themselves on healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
So that's why we say falling in love with your health in 2023.
Okay.
And you added and beyond. So we would want them to continue taking care of themselves, and educating themselves, having preventative measures, taking preventative measures to boost themselves and to live a healthy life and increase their lifespan.
Okay. Somebody is interested in something we would have said and they're calling. Let's hear what this person wants. Good morning, caller. We missed the caller. Okay. Caller, you can call back. Yes, so I know there will be a cross-section of health professionals there. All right. For the folks who are interested, could you just reiterate some of the services that will be provided there?
Okay, the services that would be provided at the health fair, we have like breast examination. You come and examine your breast, because breast cancer, is prevalent. So we provide that service free of cost for them. Also, we have pap smears for the ladies. We have sickle cell testing. You do not have to pay for it. If you go to the lab, you will definitely have to pay, but on that day, it will be free. We have blood type testing. Many people don't know their blood types, and it's very important that you know your blood type. In case you get into an accident or something, at least someone know that's your blood type, so that if you in the accident you need blood, at least they know. They will do testing, but at least if you know behind,
you have a heads up.
Yeah.
Okay, don't stop. Pause. I'll pause you in a while. We have a caller. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Mr. Innocent.
Morning. Welcome to the program.
And morning to your guest.
Morning.
What I was wondering is this. We have a health problem in men with prostate cancer. I want to know if there will be testing for prostate as well too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, caller.
Yes, on the day there would be testing the prostate. It would be at a reduced cost. At the lab, it is for $110, and on the day, it's going to be for $95. Okay. So, yes, we can do that on the day.
You see, I usually plea for the men. You see how unfair this for all this? Pap smear is free. But the prostate check, you have to go back on the drawing board with that Father Paul. Okay, so let's continue.
Also, we'll be doing peak flow meter, and that is to check the capacity of the lung, of your lung function, how well you can get rid of the air. That will tell you. Like they normally use it like in patients that are asthmatic. Yeah, we have BMI, also massage for chair massage, and we have massaging for the foot, like if you're hypertensive.
When you say chair massage, the kind of thing that you get in your back when you go to do a pedicure and thing? The chair...
No, that one. Okay. You will sit on a chair and you just get that massage while you're on the chair.
We have another caller. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Innocent.
Welcome to the program.
Yes, I love your guests. They look lovely without no makeup or anything else. They really love you.
You love me too.
I would like to know if they're having cholesterol tests done too.
That's all you want to know?
Yes, my dear.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we'll have cholesterol testing done also.
Okay. All right. Well, we seem to have been exhausted. We seem to have exhausted our time, so we have to wrap up. Anything you want to quickly throw in?
What I would like to say is that, as the theme suggests, is falling in love. And when you fall in love, you want to remain in love. You want to stand in love, like you said. And so what Spice Isle has done is Spice Isle has created a small booklet that will be given to persons. And as we said before, it's small steps. So the first 6 months is recorded in this book. And what you will do is you're going to record your different test results on the 14th of December. And for the following month, January, you can get those tests redone and to monitor your progress.
So when they're doing the follow-up test, is it free as well, or they have to pay this time?
This time there will be a cost. Not for everything. Okay. The weight, you don't have to pay for your weight, but we have coupons as well. Some persons would be given coupons at the health fair, so you must come to the health fair in order to get those coupons, and the coupons would have a limited lifespan, so you need to come in and get those tests done as we support you in falling and remaining in love with your health in 2023 and beyond.
Good. Let me ask you this. This is the first health fair you're having.
No, it's not.
It's not the first. So
Not the first,
is it
no.
an annual something? Is it something that you would have annually around this time, or you just spontaneously pop up at some point in time throughout the year?
No, what I think is oftentimes we have health fairs and we just collect data, and then we have another health fair, not Spital I'm talking about, but in general. You just have health fairs, you collect data, and nothing is done with that data. So what we want to do at Spital is to ensure that all the data that we collect on that day, they're analyzed and steps are taken to help those persons to step in line or help them to be able to remain on the path that would lead to better health in 2023. It is our hope that this health fair, from the information gathered, we can see where certain problems are and organize programs to address such.
So in essence, you are going to collect data, you're going to collect the data and create a database, and I guess maybe reach out to persons as well.
Yes, we will.
Of course.
Wow. This is awesome.
Yes.
This is the way to go.
But we are not going to share your data with any third party. So feel free to come on down on the 14th of December and get your health checks done.
Okay.
As you prepare to fall in love with your health in 2023.
Good. Wrapping up.
I would encourage everyone to come out to the health fair on
Where?
the 14th at the bus terminal, Grenville,
Good.
a central area. You know, especially the bus men, the bus drivers.
Okay.
You know, we want them to support in terms of coming and check their health. You know, you said we are biased when it comes to the men, so they have an opportunity to.
Yeah, but they have to pay for that point. I ain't like that. You know, take that back on the drawing board. If the pap smears free, the prostate check should be free too. You understand? Man, you see what I'm doing, right? Okay, well, ladies, thank you very much for giving us this information. Remember, the wealth of a nation is dependent on the health of the nation. Be health smart. Go on out, be a part of the health fair on the 14th of December. That's next week. It starts from 10. It's at the Grenville bus terminus. It's free. Most of the services, and I hope by this afternoon when they get back, they're going to have a meeting with the management team, and they would say, okay, the prostate check is free too. You understand? Ladies, thank you for coming.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Maybe before we go, maybe we can organize a prostate test, but the PSA blood test, that is what will be at a reduced cost and not the testing of the prostates.
The testing would be free?
No, that we will take back and get back to you.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Men, get yourself checked, okay? Ladies, thank you very much, the beautiful ladies, for gracing my presence this morning. And let's be in touch. With the GBN, let's keep the health of the nation focal. Okay, so every now and then drop by and give us some information.
I would love to do that.
Lovely, I know that. Folks, we got to break it off here because we have to join the BBC for that bulletin of news, and we'll see you on the flip side of 8. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.